Exactly, it's FA Cup semi-final day in England, and we're at Old Trafford in Manchester for the first of the two matches. Arsenal, the favourites, against Middlesbrough. It's a contest that on paper seems to favour heavily the Gunners, who of course, as well as winning this competition, are hoping to make it a league and cup double by also securing the championship. But Middlesbrough, under the guiding hand of former Manchester United #2 Steve McClaren, have been much improved of late. Their confidence boosted by not only this FA Cup run, but also some decent Premiership results, which have lifted them out of relegation danger and into the security of mid-table. Arsenal, though, are in awesome form. They've not lost any domestic games since Newcastle beat them at Highbury in the league back in December. As the teams come out to a crescendo of noise around Old Trafford. Absolutely packed today, even though Manchester United aren't playing. United, of course, vying with Arsenal for the Premier League Championship along with Liverpool. Let's take a check on the teams, starting with Arsenal. So many outstanding individuals, and collectively they function so well as a unit. Sol Campbell just seems to be getting better and better as the season progresses. Now then, with Keown and not Adams alongside him today in the full-back roles, it'll be Lauren on the right and Lushny, the Ukrainian, on the left. Ashley Cole is still out injured. The loss of Pires, a major blow, but not such a hardship when you can bring in the likes of Sylvain Wiltor. He's on one flank and Ljungberg on the other. Edu, the Brazilian, and Vieira in the centre of midfield. And up front, that formidable pairing, Dennis Bergkamp and Thierry Henry. Wenger, his only real dilemma was who to play in goal, and he has kept that promise then to Richard Wright. Well, now let's look at the Middlesbrough team. Some head-scratching certainly for Steve McClaren before he could settle on this starting 11. The inclusion of Alan Boksic could be so significant. He'd been yet another injury doubt, but has come through okay. And at the sharp end, he will be partnered by Dean Windass. No Whelan, no Carbone, remember, or Nemeth. Mark Schwarzer is back as the #1 goalkeeper these days. In front of him, it's a back four of Robbie Stockdale, just called up by Scotland for the first time. The England pair, Ugo Ehihog and Gareth Southgate, such a durable combination. But on the flanks, Kurderer on the left, Stockdale, as I was saying, on the right. In midfield, the young Australian Luke Wilkshire gets his opportunity, and Alan Johnson on the left. Robbie Mustoe and another Frenchman, Mikhail Dubev, getting a rare outing there in the middle. Middlesbrough really stretched, but hoping their newfound resolve will help them counter Arsenal's attacking flair and fluidity under Wenger. Arsene Wenger so confident his team are not only going to win the FA Cup, but the league as well. He's not just saying we might, he's saying we are going to do it. That's the belief he has in his team. But there is a steely determination about Middlesbrough of late. And they will give it their best shot, even though it is a depleted team they are having to field today. Steve McClaren is a superb tactician, and he'll be hoping he's got it right as David Ellery gives a signal and off we go. Arsenal still smarting at their defeat in last season's final, when they led before Michael Owen's two late strikes has suddenly transformed the final. Lushny. This is Edu, who's been preferred in midfield to Ray Parlour. He's among the Arsenal subs this afternoon. Keown. Goes Henry, and Kurderer, the Frenchman, had the measure of him. Kurderer, who's on loan from Lens and has looked a really good signing too. They will want to retain his services if they can. Arsenal in their away colours. On Henry with Curdreau. Maybe an early concern there for Henry, just wincing a little. That was young Wiltshire, who was Australian. I was talking to Terry Venables about him yesterday. Venables, who of course was here or with Middlesbrough at the back end of last season to help out. He says he's a really good prospect. Free kick to Arsenal. Wiltshire playing on the right of midfield. Dennis Bergkamp was the meat in the sandwich, on by Wiltshire. Straight to Vieira. Sent tumbling there. And that may be an early indication of how they intend to set about the task of containing the threat of Patrick Vieira and the influence of him. Dean Windass, who was the guilty party. That was certainly a trip. I think Boxic, the other player involved there, was rather annoyed with Windass as well. There was no need for it. And he's now walking a tightrope for the rest of the game, having been cautioned so early. Windass, who's really down the pecking order, but with so many other regulars unavailable, he's got his opportunity. Vieira took some stick last week in the North London derby against Tottenham, but Wenger felt he retained his composure, stayed cool, and he'll be praying he does so again. Such an important player. Here's Henry. He will certainly be in Japan in Korea with France. An early chance. Right across the face of goal, but still kept in by Henry. Wiltor, who fired that one through. And Middlesbrough were in some disarray at the back then. Arsenal attacking from all angles. Bergkamp with Luzhny. Wiltor has been a regular scorer at the FA Cup, 8 in 11 ties before this one for Arsenal. Lauren, who got the winner, of course, in the North London derby from the penalty spot last week. Wiltshire. Oh, offside Boxic. The Croatian international. Martin Keown. And clearly the surface is going to be a little greasy after this morning's rain. Boxic dispossessed. Here's Ljungberg, but I think that has gone out of play. Six minutes gone in this FA Cup semi-final at Old Trafford. Arsenal 0, Middlesbrough 0. And it's Stockdale for Borough. Very impressive in coming through against Everton in the quarter-finals when they score 3 times before half-time. Curdreau, who loves to come forward. But overhitting that pass in search of Boxic, who drifted out to this near side. This was a chance for Arsenal. Henry's run, and it found its way through there to Wiltor. Was that a shot or a pass? Only he will know, but Henry kept it in play, kept it going. So much goal-scoring potential in this exciting Arsenal team. Campbell. Here's Stockdale. Henry lurking in the vicinity. There's Campbell stabbing it forward. In goes Bergkamp. Now Kerdra. Alan Johnston, the Scottish international. Good ball in towards Boxic, who has real pace, and Campbell did exceptionally well then to stay with him. He is very, very quick, Boxic. Swift to respond there, but so too was Sol Campbell, who may have begun the season shakily, having come off an injury, but he's just got better and better with every passing game. And is now a really dominant figure at the back for Arsenal. Wiltshire with the corner. Ehihog making a nuisance of himself, but in the end it's off Stockdale for a goal kick. But Ehihog will be a threat on these corner kicks. Mikhail de Bed, only his second appearances for Middlesbrough. Now Vieira. Mustoe never too far away. Ljungberg in pursuit, and it's off Southgate for the corner. Ljungberg, who can be such a handful, such a feisty presence in this Arsenal team. Edu. Keown among the targets. That was Kerdra. Campbell. And then the shot in. Oh! From Henry, and it was straight at the keeper, Schwarzer. Anywhere else, and it could well have been a goal. Henry just dropping off there. They didn't really pick him up, Middlesbrough. De Babe, I think, was the player nearest to him, but not close enough. Henry, who has scored 3 times in the FA Cup this season. Actually, it's 4. Oh, no foul seen there by David Ellery. Johnston. Now Mustoe. Here's Johnston again. Cleared by Keown. Now Mustoe, who works so hard in the midfield. Shooting opportunity. Oh, right save. Such a good reaction shot then from the keeper, as it came through, and Windass letting fly. Arsenal led off the hook. Dean Windass, the man drafted in today only because others aren't available, almost gave Middlesbrough the lead. Kerdra's throw. Certainly indications already that Arsenal will not have things all their own way. Fine stop then by Wright. They seem to twist in mid-air as Dean Windass struck for goal. One-handed save by Wright, underlining his class and quality. Certainly no real feeling between him and Seaman. They were chatting beforehand. Maybe some last-minute words of advice from Seaman. If they shoot for goal, save it. The McLaren's team certainly haven't come here just to make up the numbers. Windass onto Boxic, who's onside. Wiltshire is up with him. Just couldn't locate him in the middle. They got 4 or 5 up then very quickly in support, Middlesbrough. Arsenal haven't really settled into their stride, but give credit to Borough for that. Lauren. Now Ljungberg. Starting down the left with Wiltor on the right. Here's Luzhny. Middlesbrough have opened in really high-tempo fashion. Henry with a splendid turn. Now, will he show that frightening pace here? Still Henry. And he got his shot away too. Well gathered in by Schwarzer. Henry not quite as prolific as I was suggesting earlier in the FA Cup. It's just the one goal he's got so far, not four. But 30 in all for the season, including 22 in the Premiership. Only Jimmy Floyd Hasselbaink has scored more. Lauren. Straight to Southgate. It has been magnificent at the back for Barrow this season. He really has enhanced his game. He certainly answered back those critics who thought his career might not flourish up at the Riverside Stadium. Quite the reverse. But here's Wiltor now. But he hasn't picked out Ljungberg, and Southgate has moved it on to De Bev. It's been a really open game. Wiltshire. Another run by Boksic. It was De Bev who drove it in. But no real sting in that shot then. But again, it was the front running of Boksic that helped to unhinge Arsenal. Wiltshire. There's Boksic, causing a lot of early problems. It's another chance for them, and again it's wide. Wiltshire really could have made a name for himself then. But Arsenal were not happy defensively. The great turn then by Boksic. Campbell seemed to have stopped him, but not Wiltshire, and it was the wrong side of the post from the young Australian. A moment of glory has passed him by, to the frustration of Steve McLaren. But his team have come racing out of the blocks. Kerdra. Tremendous pace to the game early on. And Middlesbrough giving as good as they get, maybe more. Six attempts on goal, 3 apiece. Musto. De Bev. And here's his French compatriot, Kerdra. That's kept off the head of Keown to Lauren. Southgate. Now Johnston. Kerdra again looking for that scorching run of Boksic. Tangling with Keown. Boksic says penalty. David Ellery says corner. In truth, a rather half-hearted protest from Boksic. Keown, such an uncompromising defender, but he had to be on his guard then. Against the acceleration of Boksic. You can see now why McLaren was so desperate to have Boksic in his team. He had been suffering from this injury all week. Now Wiltshire settling for the goal kick. Such a spirited opening spell for Middlesbrough. It was Ehiot stretching against Henry. That may be where the damage was inflicted. Certainly looking a little worried, maybe wanting some strapping. Maybe they're going to have to make a substitution. Festa, the Italian, preparing to come on by the looks of things. disrespect to Festa, but that will be a big blow to Middlesbrough if they lose Ehion. Off goes Kurderer. Now Johnston. Big force back here by Leon, but he's turned him very sweetly. Johnston's cross. Up goes Wiltshire. Nobody following in. Not in a red shirt anyway. And Vieira now is striding away. Youngberg. Good covering by Musto. Henry and Bergkamp. Still Dennis Bergkamp. He's got Youngberg coming in here. Musto back on defensive guard. It's Henry to fire it back in. Then Adu. But Arsenal's concerted pressure comes to nothing. Patrick Vieira. The first half an hour has flown by. Arsenal 0, Middlesbrough 0 in this FA Cup semi-final at Old Trafford. Keown. Good anticipation by Campbell. Bergkamp. Always looking to prize an opening. Wiltor. Henry to the near post. An extravagant flick that didn't quite come off. But his speed off the mark there was incredible. Just look at that dart there beyond Ehiog, who was a bit slow to respond. It would have been an outrageous goal from Henry. But then he doesn't get too many tap-ins. Maybe there his coach will feel he should have just knocked it in, but it wasn't that easy. An injury for Luzhny, but here's Henry. Schwarzer just about managed to redeem himself in time. David Ellery, they must be exhausted keeping up with this. Arsenal sweeping forward again, but Henry is offside. Luzhny being patched up, but not looking at all comfortable, nor is Ugo Ehiog, and Gianluca Festa is on to replace him. The Italian who's had to play second fiddle to the partnership of Ehiog and Southgate this season. A real hard man, Gianluca Festa. Now can Luzhny continue? Doesn't look it, he can't put any weight on that foot. And Dixon will take his place. Whether he'll go on the left or Lauren will, we'll wait to see. .38 now, Lee Dixon. Still playing with so much enthusiasm though. But it's a sad day now for Ugo Ehiog, at least in terms of his own personal contribution, and for Oleg Luzhny. Well, the tackles are certainly flying in now. Lauren has a problem. Wiltshire, whose boot was a little on the high side there, as he claimed steaming in. Lauren won't thank him for that. And he, no wonder, is looking somewhat vexed. Arsene Wenger. Luzhny departs, a forlorn figure. The veteran Lee Dixon on in his place. Dixon, who played in semi-finals in 91, 93, 99 and last season. Missed out in 98. When Arsenal won the cup, beating Newcastle at Wembley. Freddie Youngberg, the score, of course, in Cardiff in last season's final. Dixon, what a good ball, bent in there! And it came off Musto with some outstanding defensive work at the far post. He saw the danger then, Musto. Vieira was storming in behind him. Vieira, I should say. And Musto turned it away for the corner. without batting an eyelid. Very much a saviour then for Middlesbrough, Robbie Mustoe. The 33-year-old midfielder using all his experience there to calm down a very tricky situation. Oh, it's an own goal. It's gone in off Fester. Oh, what heartbreak for him and for Middlesbrough. Gianluca Fester, only on a few minutes ago as a substitute, has screwed that ball into his own net. A complete miscue. And it really flew past Mark Schwarzer. Arsenal in front in the most fortunate of circumstances. There are a few battles going on there. Fester, well, he'd been looking out for Campbell. A misconnection. And he's almost too embarrassed to celebrate, I think. But for my money, Arsenal can consider themselves fortunate to be in front the way Middlesbrough played in the first, well, almost 40 minutes now. No wonder he's looking very dejected. Of all the ways for Arsenal to score, he hadn't reckoned on that. Good jump by Vieira, who just swatted Cerdreau aside, but here's the Frenchman again, Cerdreau. And they do lashed out at him. Cerdreau staying down, and I think Adu is going to be cautioned. He will stand for no nonsense, David Ellery. Seen it all before, it's no good arguing. Yellow card for Adu. Pretty much a regular for Arsenal these days. Vieira. Here's Bergkamp. Well in Dixon. Fiery challenge on young Wiltshire. But he's had a good first half, the Australian. Johnston. Southgate is the last defender. And the flag, I think, up for offside. Well, it's been a super first half, but such an unhappy moment for Gianluca Festa, who put through his own goal to give Arsenal the lead. The lead they barely deserved. Middlesbrough had their chances early on. McLaren's team setting about their task with great purpose. They might have scored, certainly. But Arsenal finally going ahead after Festa's aberration, after he had come on as a substitute for Ugo Ehihog. It has not been by any means all Arsenal in this first half. Wiltshire close to a goal for Middlesbrough, so was Dean Windass. And Arsenal have not yet booked their place in the final. But at half-time, they lead Middlesbrough by 1-0 at Old Trafford. From me, Peter Brackley, to this FA Cup semi-final from Old Trafford, home of Manchester United. Arsenal against Middlesbrough, and Arsenal somewhat fortuitously leading by 1-0. An own goal from Gianluca Festa, who himself had come on as a substitute for the injured Ugo Ehihog. Such irony there. No changes for either team. And Middlesbrough will be hoping no change in their commitment. The way they have set about their job today, they frustrated Arsenal. Not only that, at times they threatened to score a goal themselves, to outplay them. Not many teams do that to Arsenal. Wenger will want his team to produce a more flowing, cohesive game, but it's not easy. The way that Middlesbrough are performing this afternoon. On paper, no contest. Individually, man for man, Arsenal have the better players. But Middlesbrough certainly have not let themselves down And they've given their fans here, very noisy fans too, every hope that they might just come back in the second half now. They will consider themselves very unlucky to be behind. Edu. Now Vieira. By his standards, a poor first touch. Very decisive tackle then, though, on De Bever. By Vieira. Kudra with the early ball. He's looking for these well-timed runs too of Boksic, who was a real handful for Arsenal in that first half. Yet to score an FA Cup goal this season, or indeed a cup goal of any kind, in this campaign, Boksic. But he had Arsenal constantly looking out for him. With his guile up front. Lauren. Now Henry. Ljungberg letting it run on to Becker. It was nearly two. Great little run there by Henry. Ljungberg letting it run on into the path of Dennis Bergkamp. And behind the goal, those Arsenal fans were shouting goal. Not quite. But Arsenal coming out here with renewed vigour, you think. Wenger will not have been content with the way they played in that first 45 minutes. Wiltor. Really good movement up front, and Henry sliding in, made contact there with Schwarzer. In fairness, that ball was there to be disputed, and there was no complaint from Middlesbrough. Campbell. Made sure no harm came to Arsenal there. Wiltor. Well read by Southgate. What a good delivery as well. Boksic a little unlucky, just ricocheted away off his shins. Ljungberg looking to turn De Bever. And his Stockdale now. On for Wiltshire. Trying to make some room for herself. And it's come to nothing. Ljungberg on the counter-attack. That's Henry sprinting away to his left. He's got Bergkamp up too. But he hesitated, he delayed too long then. Stockdale furious that he overreacted, Ljungberg. But I think he did foul him. David Ellery unruffled in the heat of the occasion. First tackle looked clean enough, but he tripped in there, surely. David Ellery just reminding him who's in charge and restoring order very quickly and sensibly. He's refereed this game well so far. Will it be Bergkamp? Will it be Henry? It looks like the Frenchman, Thierry Henry. Good clean catch though by Schwarzer. Re-established as Middlesbrough's #1 ahead of Crossley. In goes Musto and De Bever. Still Middlesbrough playing with so much energy. Safe in mid-table now in terms of the Premiership. So their season hinges on this, really. Arsenal still with a championship to play for, very much in the driving seat. 4 wins from their remaining games and they're there. Bergkamp. On to Henry. Wiltor's made a dart into the middle. All Curtin with a mistake. And Sylvain Wiltor has failed to punish him. A lapse in concentration then from Kudra. And no wonder his tongue's hanging out. He can't believe he's missed it. He has an excellent record in the FA Cup. 8 goals, remember, from his previous 11 ties, still from Wiltor. And he cannot fathom how on earth he missed that. It stays at 1. And Phil Stapp is on now for Middlesbrough. Luke Wiltshire has given way. Well, he had worked so hard, Wiltshire. Maybe there's an injury anyway. Maybe he's just run out of steam. There's Fester. Trying to curb the influence, the threat then of Henry. Fester, whose aberration led to the only goal of the game so far. But Arsenal driving forward now in search of a second. Keown. Here's Campbell. Swapping passes with his central defensive partner, Martin Keown. Outmanoeuvred though by De Beve. Boxic on for Johnston. Campbell was quickly on his way back though, but limping and out of position. He's in trouble. Maybe a hamstring. Sol Campbell. He'll be wincing. Sven-Göran Eriksson. Not another one. Oh dear. He pulled up very sharply then, Campbell. Remember, he had to be taken off injured last season in the semi playing for Tottenham against Arsenal, and he really shouldn't have started. And he felt it was worth the gamble. So they're calling for a stretcher here. Ray Parlour getting ready to come on. And you can see there the fury and the frustration of Campbell. Coming not only for this game, but also England's match in midweek. Well, what can I do, he's saying. It's a thankless task at times, being a coach of any team. What with Beckham, and then the problems with Dyer before that, and now Campbell. It's another threat, you would think, to the England coach's plans, not to mention Arsenal's prospects in this FA Cup semi-final. I don't think we're going to see Campbell again in this game. And indeed, Parlour is coming on. There is no question of Sol Campbell continuing. Dreadful news for Arsenal and for Sven-Göran Eriksson as well. Meantime, Arsenal have the corner to defend. Henry away in spectacular fashion, but there's nobody upfield. De Beve collecting for Middlesbrough. Vieira, I think, will go into the back four alongside Keown. Here's Phil Stapp. He was doubtful through injury today. Fester so anxious to make amends. Off the line. Henry then to hook it out. Oh, Windass so unlucky. It was Dixon guarding that post. And there is the value of having a man in that position from that kind of situation. Not all teams have a man there. It paid off then for Arsenal. Wiltor. Dixon. Just a reminder then, though, to the Gunners that Middlesbrough most certainly are not out of this game yet, but they could be now. Parlour, Henry, sloppy first touch, and he let Middlesbrough out of jail. They were split asunder then, as Parler raced away and set up Henry. And he, of all people, has failed to convert that opportunity. Drama at both ends. And it's still 1-0 with an hour play. Bergkamp. Martin Keown. Richard Wright was beaten by Windas's header, but Lee Dixon was in the right place to clear off the goal line. Henry. Forward by Stepp. Here's Kurderer. Straight at Wiltor. All his experience brought to bear then. The 38-year-old Lee Dixon. What a great ball that is then to release Ray Parler. Look at Henry in so much space. But he wasted his chance. Lauren. Now Ljungberg. Keown slot pass. Dealt with by Kurderer. Wiltor. On to Bergkamp. Henry right up top. Mustoe to clear. Off the chest, says David Ellery. Then a rugged challenge on Stepp. There's no slouch himself when it comes to tackling. Stepp's long ball in. Windass! Right down the throat of Richard Wright. Another chance comes Middlesbrough way. That isn't taken. In this thunderous cup semi-final. Who says they're dour affairs? Not this one. And it's still open, wide open. Mustoe. I can't believe Arsenal will settle for the one goal. Not really in the nature of this team. Bergkamp. On to Parler. Disappointment for him again at being omitted from England's latest squad. In by Wiltor. To Henry. And that's a corner. And a chance for Arsenal to step up their ambitions, their hopes of getting through to the final. Back to Cardiff. Keown on his way forward. Adu will look for him. Well held, the keeper. Schwarzer. Really positive goalkeeping. Middlesbrough stay in the hunt. Dixon with a poor header. Straight to Boxic. Johnston now. Arsenal all over the place at the back for a moment. Oh, what a save. Boxic with a header and Wright kept it out. They will look back on this semi-final if it doesn't go their way in the end and wonder what might have been Middlesbrough. They've got 3 up here. Arsenal at full stretch, and Boxic's header is saved by Richard Wright without that much discomfort in truth. Boxic not deadly enough in front of goal. Bergkamp can make no progress against Gareth Southgate. But Arsenal are twitchy. And Boxic really has let them off the hook, you'd have to say there. Dennis Bergkamp. It has not been the dominant Arsenal we'd anticipated. Bergkamp. On to Sylvain Wiltor. Now Dixon. Adu sweeping it on to Bergkamp. Ready Ljungberg and Bergkamp again. Bergkamp's chip. And he couldn't deceive Mark Schwarzer. Musto. Played it on well. Windass. Up comes Stockdale to swing it over. Boxic. And Windass colliding with Richard Wright. A commanding figure at the back then. Once more, Alan Boxic in the thick of the action. And now there's an injury to Keown. Maybe this is the same problem he had earlier with the head wound. Gary Lewin concerned. He certainly will be. Keown maybe an outsider now for the England party, but certainly a contender. Middlesbrough wanting to make another change. Marinelli replacing Johnston. This is the Argentine, Carlos Marinelli. He did okay, Alan Johnston. He'll pose fresh problems. A dangerous player. Came from Boca Juniors back in '99. Not necessarily a first choice. But he does pose a potential goal threat with his flair and his eye for an opening. Keown to soldier on. Arsenal edging their way towards the final, but not that convincingly. Parlour. Here's Stockdale. Now Southgate. Scything challenge by Parlour on Musto. That will have to be a caution. No attempt to play the ball by Ray Parlour. Who can be a mite too aggressive. He certainly was on that occasion. Certainly another sign that all is not well with Arsenal. Southgate almost showed too much of the ball to Bergkamp, but now look at this. Boxic, in goes Step, and he just ran out of pitch in the end. Windass complaining, Vieira standing his ground, and Boxic having to step in along with Keown to break it up. Windass was quick to react and will now be called over by Ellery. Peace has been restored, I think. Well, he's a schoolmaster. Vieira and Windass getting very involved with each other. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. That was Ellery's view. I think I concur with that. Musto, Marinelli. Here's De Bev. Was there a foul then? Referee says no. Stockdale under pressure from Lauren. This is Patrick Vieira. Ellery doing his best to keep the game flowing. Youngberg. On then to Bergkamp. Here's Will Tor. Placed by Kurderer. Dixon's teasing cross. Up climbs Thierry Henry, but well over the top. can only look on and hope now, these fans of Middlesbrough. All hands to the pump back there for Arsenal. Kedra to Marinelli. Teasing ball ahead right, thinking twice. Oh, and then over the top so frustratingly for Phil Stepp, who sneaked in round the back, catching Arsenal off guard. They have given everything, Middlesbrough. The marking was poor here from Arsenal. The loss of Campbell has been a big blow for them. They certainly haven't been as well organised since his departure. Windass, who's toiled away, looking now as if he's been eating an ice cream. Marinelli short on the pass though. Well read by Parler, skipping in. Bearcap's in the middle. Still Ray Parler. That's right on the edge of the box. A mistimed tackle from Marinelli. Arsenal in no particular hurry. Bearcap is there. Adu is there. Kanu will be introduced at this very late stage. That'll eat up a few more seconds. Off goes Bearcap. Of course, missed out on the run into the double back in '98 because of injury. Only a late substitute in the final last season. He will be desperate to be a starter in Cardiff this time around, provided Arsenal get there. Kanu is on. Can't be bad. You take on Bearcap and you bring on Kanu. That's about strength in depth. Henry. That's a compliment really to Middlesbrough. Arsenal now are playing for time. In goes Musto. Run it back too well. The 90 minutes are almost up. It's a foul by Kanu. In retreat. Taken quickly. Phil Stepp, who must have felt like wanting the ground to open up and swallow him when that ball flew in the first half to give Arsenal the lead. A lead they haven't managed to build on, and a lead that Middlesbrough most certainly have threatened. The clock running down. The 5 minutes are just about up now. Richard Wright. Now Henry with Kanu. It's all over, and Arsene Wenger's team are back in Cardiff for the FA Cup final. But what a fight Middlesbrough have given them in Manchester today. Relief for Wenger now, and such heartbreak for Gianluca Festa and Steve McLaren's battling Middlesbrough team. Festa's own goal has proved enough for Arsenal to progress and keep alive their hopes of a league and cup double. They are through to the FA Cup final for the second year running, at the expense of Middlesbrough, who fought them every inch of the way. But the final score at Old Trafford in this FA Cup semi-final is Arsenal 0, Middlesbrough, Arsenal 1, Middlesbrough